Welcome back to the channel, fight fans. A chilling silence descended upon the boxing world, broken only by the whispers of retirement. Tyson Fury, the larger-than-life Gypsy King, had seemingly hung up his gloves after back-to-back defeats to Oleksandr Usyk. But if you listen closely, beneath the surface of that quiet, there was a tremor, a faint rumbling that hinted at something far grander, far more audacious, than a simple farewell. Now, that tremor is growing, threatening to erupt into an earthquake. The man who conquered all, then walked away, is stirring once more. And he's not just stirring, he's orchestrating a symphony of suspense, dropping breadcrumbs of intrigue that point to an improbable, yet utterly exhilarating, return. This isn't just about reclaiming a title, it's about rewriting history. Are you ready to unravel the biggest secret in heavyweight boxing? Before we dive headfirst into this unfolding drama, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you absolutely do not want to miss a single, electrifying moment of this story. The air is thick with anticipation, a palpable tension that hangs heavy over the boxing landscape. For months, the boxing world has been a chaotic swirl of whispers, speculation, and outright disbelief. Tyson Fury, the enigmatic Gypsy King, who once stood atop the heavyweight division, seemingly invincible, then announced his departure, is now, unequivocally, back. But this isn't just a quiet return to the gym, or a few scattered headlines. This is a deliberate, calculated maneuver, a chess game played out on the grandest stage. His recent Instagram post, a seemingly innocuous clip of him and his father on a car journey, was the match that ignited the tinderbox. "Business meeting today, Dad," Fury mumbled, a glint of mischief in his eye. "En route. Incoming, incoming." Those words, whispered into the ether, were a spark. And the raging inferno they ignited? The long-awaited, almost mythical clash with Anthony Joshua. The Gypsy King's calculated retreat and resurgence. Let's cast our minds back. Tyson Fury, a behemoth of the heavyweight division, a man who defied every expectation, dethroned lineal champions, and captivated millions with his boisterous persona, seemed to have reached a definitive crossroads. 2 consecutive losses to the masterful, elusive Oleksandr Usyk. 2 decisions that, for the very first time in his storied professional career, saw his hand not raised in victory. After the second Usyk defeat, a palpable sense of finality permeated the atmosphere. Retirement. The word echoed through the boxing community, a melancholic farewell to a truly singular character. The Usyk rivalry, a chapter ostensibly closed, left many pondering Fury's future. Would he chase a third, elusive encounter? Would he seek out other formidable contenders like Daniel Dubois? Or would he, as he'd so often threatened, simply walk away from the sport that had catapulted him to global superstardom? He chose the latter path, or so we were all led to believe. But as with much of Tyson Fury's career, what appears to be is often just a cleverly constructed illusion. His retirement, it turns out, was less of a final curtain call and more of a strategic intermission. A meticulously planned pause. Because even as the world processed his supposed departure, Fury was already meticulously laying down a trail of breadcrumbs, subtle, almost imperceptible hints that his extraordinary story was far from over. Earlier this year, there was the quiet, understated reunion with his longtime coach. A seemingly casual meetup, yet one that sent ripples of intrigue cascading through the boxing world. Champions don't just reunite with their coaches for nostalgic reminiscence after 2 devastating losses and a retirement declaration. No, there was a deeper game being played, a more intricate plot unfolding beneath the surface. And then came the Instagram post. That now infamous business meeting. This wasn't a grueling training session, nor was it a leisurely family outing. This was business. Serious business. With his father, John Fury, by his side, a clear and unmistakable signal of profound intent. This wasn't some casual chat over coffee, this was about deals, about contracts, about potentially, a legacy-defining fight that could shake the very foundations of the sport. The boxing world, holding its collective breath, immediately connected the dots, a singular name flashing across everyone's mind, Anthony Joshua. The fabled clash, Fury versus Joshua. The Fury-Joshua saga is not new. It is a narrative as old as time in the annals of British boxing, a mythical clash of titans that has been teased, painstakingly debated, and agonizingly negotiated for years, only to repeatedly unravel at the 11th hour. It is the fight every single fan craves, the ultimate domestic showdown that has perpetually, agonizingly, eluded us. Now, with both fighters navigating the unfamiliar terrain of recent losses, Joshua's shocking knockout defeat to Daniel Dubois last year, and Fury's back-to-back decisions against Usyk, the narrative has taken on a new, compelling dimension. The stakes are undeniably different. The allure, however, remains as potent, as irresistible, as ever before. Consider the landscape. Anthony Joshua, a former unified world champion, a man who has commanded the roar of 90,000 fans at Wembley Stadium, has also been navigating his own turbulent waters. After his defeat to Dubois, there were brief, almost whispered talks of a potential crossover spectacle against YouTube star Jake Paul. A fascinating, if somewhat perplexing, prospect that, thankfully, never fully materialized. Cooler heads, it seems, prevailed. Joshua, it is now clear, has pivoted. His sights are set considerably higher, on a legitimate, career-defining challenge, a fight that truly matters for his enduring legacy. And who, pray tell, better to provide that challenge than the very man who has captivated and dominated the heavyweight division for over a decade? Prior to his recent setbacks, Fury was still riding high, albeit with a controversial split decision victory over the formidable former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. That fight, a mesmerizing spectacle of raw, untamed power clashing with refined boxing finesse, left many questioning Fury's performance. Yet, it undeniably solidified his status as an unparalleled draw, a fighter capable of pulling in millions of viewers, regardless of the opponent standing across the ring. So, here we are. Tyson Fury, the retired champion, is demonstrably in active talks. With whom, precisely? The specific details remain shrouded in tantalizing secrecy, a deliberate and calculated move to heighten the drama and maintain an iron grip on the narrative. But the speculation is not merely rampant, it is justified, and for good reason. Anthony Joshua is not just a likely option, he is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most likely option for Fury's imminent comeback fight. The heavyweight division on the brink. Despite his recent losing streak, Fury remains, indisputably, one of boxing's biggest and most compelling stars. His magnetic charisma, his unpredictable nature, his undeniable, raw skill, all converge to create a captivating presence that few, if any, fighters can genuinely match. A win, or even a series of impressive wins, could effortlessly propel him back into prime contention for a highly anticipated third fight against Usyk. After all, Usyk himself is slated to face Dubois in a rematch later this year to unify their heavyweight titles. The landscape of the division is in a constant state of flux, ever shifting, and Fury, ever the astute opportunist, comprehends this dynamic better than anyone. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua finds himself in an almost unprecedented position, without a clear, definitive dance partner for his own highly anticipated return to the ring. After the devastating loss to Dubois, the whispers began circulating: Derek Chisora, Joseph Parker. Solid contenders, certainly, but not the seismic, legacy-defining bouts that Joshua craves, and arguably, desperately needs at this juncture of his career. Before the Dubois loss, Joshua had embarked on an impressive four-fight winning streak, including dominant victories over Ngannou and Robert Helenius. He remains, unequivocally, a top-tier heavyweight, a colossal draw, and very much a formidable force in the hunt for world titles. The stars, it seems, are finally, unequivocally aligning. The two most colossal names in British boxing, both with an immense amount to prove, both burdened by a history of agonizingly close calls and missed opportunities, are now, undeniably, on a collision course. Fury's business meeting was far more than a casual chat, it was a strategically orchestrated move, a meticulously calculated leak designed to fan the flames of anticipation into a roaring inferno. The fans, ravenous for this monumental clash, are already in a veritable frenzy. Social media platforms are ablaze with fervent speculation, bold predictions, and impassioned calls for the fight to finally, definitively happen. The atmosphere is nothing short of electric. But what, then, does this all signify for the future trajectory of the heavyweight division? If Fury truly returns to face Joshua, it sends a clear, resounding message: the upper echelons of the food chain are still fiercely contested by the old guard, the established titans of the sport. It might, perhaps, temporarily delay the ascendance of newer, hungrier contenders, but in return, it guarantees a spectacle unlike any other. This isn't merely about collecting shiny belts, it's about ironclad bragging rights, about etching names into the annals of history, about finally, definitively settling a rivalry that has simmered and festered for what feels like an eternity. The precise details of Fury's enigmatic business meeting remain tantalizingly shrouded in secrecy, a deliberate tactical maneuver designed to keep us all on the edge of our seats, guessing and dissecting every subtle hint. Is this a multi-fight deal, strategically crafted to ensure his long-term presence in the sport? Or is it a singular, colossal payday against Anthony Joshua, the ultimate showdown to cap off an already legendary career? The boxing world holds its collective breath, teetering on the precipice of revelation. But one thing, above all else, is abundantly clear: the Gypsy King is not done. He never truly was. This period of retirement, those recent losses, they were merely artful detours, calculated pauses on his relentless path back to the very pinnacle of the sport. And the most exhilarating, heart-stopping part of it all? We are about to bear witness to the unfolding of the next, unforgettable chapter. Brace yourselves, because the heavyweight division is about to explode. What do you think is truly being cooked up in that business meeting? Is it just Joshua, or is Fury planning something even bigger? Let us know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next videos.